Hello, welcome. Do not adjust your set. TNT, the Great British Wrestling podcast for Great British Wrestling, is back. I am the host, the Great British Wrestling Attacker, Mr. Andrew Moore, Andy to most. And it was a huge weekend for British wrestling. And I just felt that if there was a time to come back, it was after this weekend because, a lot of news coming out of this weekend, a lot of changes, and it's just great to see. Of course, Progress, RevPro UK, head to head, Devil on My Shoulder for Progress, live in Coventry for RevPro UK. Two absolutely stunning cards. I'm going to be reviewing both of those shows, as well as North Wrestling and their show Thunderstruck 2, which was made available on Fight TV, Triller TV, sorry, Friday. But before I kick that off, it wasn't just RevPro UK this weekend. We had TNT Extreme in action. And I have to talk about TNT Extreme because, well, they've got a brand new ring cover. And if you look very closely, let me bring this picture up for you. There we go. Brand new canvas for TNT Extreme. And there we are, right down here in the bottom left-hand corner. TNT Tights, the Great British Wrestling. TNT Tights, the Great British Wrestling podcast. And down the bottom there, you can see my name, as well as my former co-host, Mr. Daniel Allen. They did have it at another photo here. Let me just bring that one up for you guys. You can see it in situ. It looks like it was a very, a very packed house for TNT Extreme Wrestling. As you can see, lots of crowd over here. You can see our logo. So again, with that being unveiled this weekend, we thought, we thought, come back. It's time to make a return. Now, of course, TNT Extreme, they had two shows, the TNT Ignition show, Outrage, as well as the TNT Extreme show, Summer Explosion. And absolutely fantastic cards for both. If you look at this, MVKJ Joshua is a match I'm definitely looking forward to seeing when this show's available. Lizzie, Ivy, they've been fighting all over the UK recently. Man Like the Reese versus Rio, Temple of Malum versus RPD, and Lycos Gyms. I believe it was Joe Kessler who joined the Temple of Malum to make them a unit. Excellent choice to join the group. Really, he will definitely suit for that show. They also, as I mentioned, had the TNT Extreme Summer Explosion. Again, another fantastic card here. Let's see. Out the way. St. Mayfair's Effie for the championship. Lizzie Evo. Ali Katz for the TNT Women's Championship. Man like Reese versus Santa Volto for the TNT Ultra X Championship. The TNT Ignition Women's Championship was competed in a death match between Casey and Lucy Sky. Skull down the bottom here versus Quintessential in the VIP match. Two teams I'm definitely a fan of. LJ Cleary versus Shay Monet. As I say, some absolutely fantastic cards. Some big surprises via Drew Parker and his recent return to TNT Extreme. I will be reviewing both those shows once they are made available. They will be on demand progress at some time in the near future. Also, this weekend, or just this past weekend gone, you had Pro Wrestling Chaos, packed house at the King's Oak Academy. Leave maybe around 500 if I'm right. Somebody might have to tell me if I'm wrong. They had two shows, the Maiden Voyage, which is an all-women's tournament that they held alongside their main card, which was Burning Ambition, if I'm correct. I'm pretty sure I am correct here. And let's just bring this one up for you guys to see. I'd say another fantastic card, another great show that I'm looking forward and I will be reviewing. We've got Harrison Bennett versus Connor Mills. I'm sure that's an absolute banger. Mark Haskins versus Brendan White. The Cruise Dojo. I don't know if you've been following Pro Wrestling Chaos, man. You've got to check out this whole Cruise Dojo thing. It is absolutely hilarious. It's a great new side of Will Cruz. This comedic uh, persona, if you like. Mulligan, big name, trained over at the NJPW dojo in LA for a time. James Ellis, Nick Riley in a Chaos Cup first round match. Two very, very talented wrestlers. Another Chaos Cup first round match here was Danny Jones at Visage. And the Major Voyage tournament final was concluded on the Burning Ambition main show card, which I do believe came down to Lana Austin and Sapphire Reed. Again, I'll be reviewing that show once it's available on, I think it's the Combat Sport Federation. If there's one thing that lets Pro Wrestling Chaos down just a little bit, it's their video on demand service. I think they need to design one of their own or maybe join a better one. Look, no offense, I'm not a big fan of the VOD system, and it's such a great company. They've really been building something special down on that southeast coast in Bristol. There's a lot of talent that they have. Sorry, southwest coast. A lot of talent run, I believe, by Flash Morgan and a few others. And they've been putting on some absolutely cracking cards. So, as I say, 100% I will be reviewing those shows once they are available in the next coming couple of weeks. I'm not sure. Well, TNT Extreme can sometimes be a bit long, but I do. I will review that once it's available on Progress on Demand Plus, because they are part of that. Pro Wrestling Council usually takes about 2 weeks. And I forgot to introduce you to the new guest host, Puro, the Wrestle Bear. I could pick up this guy from Render Bomb, who you can see at a few shows, and especially at TNT Extreme. This is where I picked Puro, the Wrestle Bear. And he's going to be helping me to review every show from now on. I'll have you. He is a bit of a stickler. He did choose his name, Puro, the Wrestle Bear. So, and as you can see, he's a bit of a New Japan fan. He's been supporting Callum Newman recently in the G1. But let's kick things off. Let's talk about Devil on My Shoulder. He has a few things to say about Devil on My Shoulder. Trust me, he does. Let's talk about the fact that it sold out despite tough competition from that Rev Pro UK, which had an absolutely fantastic card. So did the Progress card. Both of these cards were absolutely insane when you just look at the depth of talent that was involved in both of these shows, which is fantastic to see, of course, because everybody likes, just goes to show how much talent it is here in the UK at this time. But there we go. Is that going to disappear again? Yeah, there we go. Kid Lycos, Luke Jacobs in the main event. If you also had Rio versus Lena Cross, that was supposed to be Emerson Jane, but Emerson Jane picked up an injury at the North NCL show very recently. But great to see Lena Cross making her debut here in the UK, a regular tag team partner of Nina Samuels there in Sendai Girls in Japan. But let's have a look at it. It kicked off. It was the pre-show match. Jackson Huxley defeated Taishi Oizawa. Solid match. Taishi Oizawa, he continues to really impress every time you see him. You can't deny that this guy's got a lot of talent. He's definitely going to be a big star in the future. And very interesting what we might see of Taishi Oizawa in the near future. And we'll talk about that, his connection It kicked off the main show proper. The first match, Axel Tisca versus Mike Di Vecchio, down here for the Progress Atlas Championship, the heavyweight title of Progress Wrestling. And what an opening match! Quite honestly, probably I would actually say the opening match was the match of the night. Mike Del Vecchio is a freak athlete, a capable of, things that he shouldn't be capable of at his size. And Axel Tisca is definitely 100% one of the best uh, performers out there, technical wrestling style. And this was just a great match. Axel Tisca picked up the win. I loved this. Great match. We had a Taint Mayfair's Eddie Dennis segment. Taint Mayfair's trolled the audience, played party hard, but out came Taint Mayfair's. Eddie Dennis comes out. Eddie Dennis talks about being friends outside the ring, training together, and so forth. And he's saying, let's become a tag team. Let's not be enemies. And it looks like Tate Fair's going to agree to it, but come on, it's Tate Mayfair's. So, of course, he double crossed Eddie Dennis, who didn't see it coming. I think we all saw it coming, but, it is Tate Mayfair's. Oh, segment, great segment. Look forward to seeing this rivalry develop over the next few shows. Man like Doris and Kid Lycos followed this up. Excellent match. Two young, very talented performers. Just shy of 10 minutes on the time limit, so very fun match. Man like Doris picked up a win here, a much needed win. Kid Lycos to looked very impressive as always. Gene Money defeats Danhausen with the help of a mask. Taishi Ozawa. Now, of course, before this, we did see a video clip of Taishi Ozawa holding a mask, and Danhausen came in and was like, very evil. And I'm not a fan of Danhausen. Pure Road to Wrestle Bear is definitely not a fan of Danhausen. But I can definitely see why people are fans of Danhausen. He's, a fun performer. It's not my taste, but I think live crowds absolutely dig it up. And, he is very entertaining as a character. Up next, it was the Progress Proteus title match. Paul Robinson defeating Malik by referee's decision, of course, under Paul Robinson's Proteus Championship rules. Matches can only be stopped via knockout, TKO, or submission. There are no pinfalls. This was the longest match on the card. Maybe went a bit too long for me. Very violent, very aggressive. It was a strong match. What did you think, Puro? He enjoyed it. Puro did enjoy the match, so that's good. That's great news. It was team action. Bussy took on Charles Crowley and a mystery partner. The mystery partner, of course, turned out to be Session Moff Martin. I did expect this because Charles Crowley has recently been teaming with Alexis Falcon as the cheeky little buggers. Charles Crowley and Session Moff Martina apparently were tag team and I believe tag team champions as well over at Riot Cabaret Wrestling under the tag team name of Session Twats, which was absolutely, an excellent tag team name. But with Alexis Falcon picking up an injury, she was unable to be Charles Crowley's partner. They had to get in a substitute. In comes Session Moff Martina. Crowley and Seshimov picked up the win. Seshimov Martina hit in a springboard lung buster or code breaker, whichever you want to call it, on Ali Catch to pick up the win. Whilst they were celebrating, Seshimov out of nowhere turned on Charles Crowley. It was unbelievable. The whole crowd was stunned as she gave everybody the middle fingers. I think a lot of people didn't really know how. It was a very fun match. And Puro says, yeah, it was a fun match. He enjoyed it. He very looking forward to this Session off turn. I wonder if she will partner up with G Money now in his heel guys, because of course G Money and Session off do teams somewhat on the regular. It was the end of the first half. Really good first half. Great. I definitely cannot count anything. I think all of these matches absolutely stand on their own. The second half opened up with Leon Slater versus Gil Blanc down here at the bottom. Slater and Blanc, they are two phenomenal talents, really, really are, and they had a great match. Maybe not quite, and I feel like both of them could have taken it up a notch if they wanted to. Still, two excellent, excellent performers, and good luck to them in the near future. I'm sure it's going to be absolutely excellent. Both of these guys, Leon Slater, absolutely killing it over in TNA right now. Impact Wrestling, no TNA, of course, yeah. LA Taylor and Sky Smithson finally got their revenge on Lana Austin and Rob Drake. I'm gonna admit, I was kind of flagging by the end of the last three matches. I had consumed a large, lovely lamb roast Sunday dinner that my wife had really whilst I was watching. That was filling me out. And, what I saw, I definitely feel like I could have given it more attention. It was still good from what I see. And LA Taylor, Sky Smithson, definitely look like they can wreak havoc in the tag team division. I think LA Taylor, Sky Smithson versus Sanity for the Progress Tag Team Championships. I can absolutely see it. Taylor and Smithson are just absolutely badass. Lana Austin's amazing. Rob Drake there, he's a big dude, and there's a lot of talent there. Rio defeated Lena Cross to retain the Progress Women's title. Lena, very impressive in her debut, almost dominating the large portions of their just shy of 12-minute match. And yeah, Rio, she came away with the win. Very impressed with Lena Cross. Rio is an absolute badass, aura off the chart. And then the most surprising of all, I don't think a lot of people, I wonder how many people saw it coming, but Luke Jacobs defeated Kid Lycos quickly and easily. I mean, seriously, under 10 minutes, Luke Jacobs defeated Progress Wrestling champion Kid Lycos. It was a very, very good match. I'm, Luke Jacobs, absolutely one of my favorites, out there right now. And it was an excellent, excellent match. And as I say, I will be going back to watch the last three matches once again, 100%. Once it's available, I believe it's going to be available at the end of the week. Let's talk about Kid Lycos' reign as champion. Let's have a look. 154 days. I believe 3 defenses overall. Yeah, it was his fourth defense against Luke Jacobs. I've enjoyed Kid Lycos' reign, the so-called Prince of Progress. I called it a while ago when he was in the Super Strong Style 16, when he won Super Strong Style 16 last year. I called it. I definitely saw there was a great rise of Kid Lycos, despite Trevay rivalry. Does go down as one of the top rivalries in Progress history, in my opinion. It was so where he had his defenses against Leo Rush, man like DeReese, and Mark Haskins. Mark Haskins being the only one that was like heated match, bar of course this Jacobs. I'm looking forward to seeing where they go, how long Luke Jacobs will hold the title, and I really like Kid Lycos' run. As I say, the Prince of Progress, as he got called during this run, a deserved moniker. Me, he was one of these guys that kind of bridged the old, the new, and present, which Sorry, from it. As I saying, Kid Lycos very much was the link between old, present, and future progress, and great. I really enjoyed his title reign. I enjoyed his rise, but sometimes when you have faces, it's more about the journey to get the title rather than keeping the title. I don't think we're going to see the end of Luke Jacobs' Kid Lycos here. There's so much more to be done. You can bring Ethan Allen in. You can bring Kid Lycos 2. Of course, it was Kid Lycos 2 in the match where Ethan Allen first picked up his injury that took him out for quite some time. There's still a lot you can play on in the near future. Progress's next show is the show during the AEW weekend. Pro Wrestling Never Sleeps. Two matches have been announced. RKJ versus Kenta, which, you know, that's going to be seriously like a badass match when you think about it. Oh, wait, we haven't given our final scores. I am going to give the Progress Devil on My Shoulder. I'm going to give it 4.25 sugars. I definitely think 4.25 sugars is mine. So 4.25 sugars in my tea. It was super sweet. I enjoyed the show. What did you think, Jero Bear? He's going to give it a flat 4. Any reason for a flat 4? No particular. Just didn't quite deserve the extra quarter star that I gave it, apparently. But no, I'm going to give it 4.25. Puro Bear has given it 4 sugars. We can't talk about progressing without talking about the upcoming Pro Wrestling Noah Tour shows, 3 shows over September, 6th of September, 7th of September, and the 8th of September in Edinburgh, Manchester, and at the Electric Ballroom. I'm hopefully going to be at the Edinburgh one. I need to sort my shit out and get my hotel booked and my tickets sorted. But I'm definitely planning to be there for the Edinburgh show. It's a really good card. The cards have been released for all 3 shows for the tours. Very much a touring type cards, but there's some really exciting matchups to come. From the Edinburgh show, I can see Am- Amakusa versus and Yohei versus Kieran Lacey, Mark Drew. I think that's going to be excellent. Axel Tiska, Taichi Ozawa. We're going to see this new Oizawa at this show. Very interesting. Keno versus G Money. Yeah, I can see it. Lycos Jim, especially now that G Money's a new heel actually. So interesting. Yeah, it should be a good match. Lycos Jim, Kid Lycos, and Kid Lycos 2 versus Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane Los Galapagos. I'm going to try not to say ever do that again because I'm pretty sure. Look, Galapagos. Alpha Wolf and Dragon Bane. That's going to be a banging match. LJ Cleary versus Oka Sasuke. Manabu Soya versus Ricky Knight Jr. It should be very interesting. Grado teaming with Marufuji. Hopefully, I know Marufuji just had to pull out the M1 victory for Pro Wrestling, but hopefully he'll be fit, back ready for the tour. And Jack Morris, versus Hayata and Kate Mayfair. So that's be a good team. Kaito Kiyomiya and Masa Kitamiya, versus Jack Morris and Saxon Huxley. The reason I actually chose the Edinburgh show is I really, really want to hit a pop for Jack Morris returning Pro Wrestling Noah. I think some big things this year for Jack Morrison Pro Wrestling Noah for sure. Manchester, you've got Alpha Wolf Dragon Bane versus Kieran Lacey, Mark Drew. Masa Kitamiya versus G Money should be really good. Jack Morris and Yohei versus Lycos Jim. Luke Jacobs, Saishi Oizawa. Definitely some very good matches on that card. And then when the Electric Ballroom, Manabu Soya versus G Money. Ricky Knight Jr. versus Kaito Kiyomiya, Masa Kitamiya versus Luke Jacobs. Uh, and then Jack Morris and Tate Mayfair's as a tag team versus Alpha Wolf and Dragon Dane. Very, very interesting. I know one of the matches because, of course, Progress, Noah, and Defy are also going to be part of the WXW the World Tag Team Festival. Hoping to go to it, but my passport is running out this year. Now, I don't think I'm being able to do it in time. But it is what it is. I'm definitely get out to get some more WXW shows in the near future. Yeah, great, lots of upcoming exciting things for Progress and Pro Wrestling Noah and Defy and others. So excellent, lots to look forward to. As I say, RevPro UK live in Coventry. Oh, I forgot to talk about Progress's strategy during for the Devils on My Shoulder. One, they put the show up for free, which was absolutely fantastic. You didn't even have to sign up; you could watch it free. And they arranged so many watch-alongs with a lot of the top wrestling podcasters and news sites out there. Bodyslam.net, who we used to be part of course. Apron Bump did one. I saw the Irish Wrestling Podcast do one. A few others. Bit disappointing nobody contacted us. But hey, we haven't recorded for like 3 months, so I probably weren't sure if we were actually doing anything. And I did join up and kind of jump in the chat room for Apron Bump, Kyle of the Apron Bump. Great. Did a great job with his live watch along. So go check that out. But an excellent show all round. Great strategy because, as I say, they were going up against one hell of a Rev Pro UK card. Absolutely insane the amount of talent that was involved. Of course, you had Donovan Dijak making his return to Rev Pro UK, where he took on Michael Oku in a non-title matchup. It was not for the undisputed British Heavyweight Championship. Okay, kick off. Samuels versus Anita Vaughan. It was supposed to be Lizzie Evo versus Anita Vaughan, as you can see down here, but Lizzie Evo decided she didn't want to be part of it. And then Nina Samuels jumped Anita Vaughan from behind, kicked off the match. Nina Samuels picked up the win. They hacked and just dumped Anita out. Great promo afterwards, talking about how they're the highest thing in Brit Wres right now. And honestly, yes, they are. Now, I do agree with a few people that add in Alex Windsor to the group that were talking about the fact that they had formed the group because they felt that they had been overlooked by RevPro UK. That was kind of thrown away by adding Alex Windsor to the group, former undisputed champion, the face of British RevPro UK's women's division. And so adding her into the group whilst added some shock value, I don't think really works. just saying. Now, of course, Alex Windsor, Lizzie Evo, Nina Samuels, Sapphire Reed, and Mercedes Blaze, who are this group, they have put out a challenge for 5 women who face them. And I think we're seeing that form. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Tag team action. Sunshine Machine took on Kieran Lacey and Mark True. Of course, this Sunshine Machine lose at the moment. They will stop hanging together in RevPro UK. Huge. Absolutely huge. So be interesting to see if that happens. I definitely think there's both of these guys are talented enough to be singles wrestlers and could easily mesh into a lot of great divisions as singles wrestlers. I'd really like for TK Cooper to have a run, actually. I think he's a very underrated wrestler. He showed that in this match because Chuck Rambo was barely in this match. Kieran Lacey and Mark Drew absolutely kept them to the outside. as much as they possibly could. But in the end, it was Sunshine Machine who came away with the win. This was great. Puro the Bear absolutely loved this match. He loved the way Kieran Lacey and Mark True isolated TK Cooper for huge portions of this match. Great tag team wrestling. Puro the Bear is a tag team wrestling fan, and he was very happy with that match. Singles match, David Francisco and Joshua James ended in a DQ after Joshua James was caught kicking David Francesco in, hitting him with a low blow after Francisco had tried to hit a low blow behind the referee's back. The referee didn't see that, but he did see Josh James's low blow, and be interesting to see where Francisco and James go in this rivalry that they're having. Of course, both of them were long-time part of the Retro UK Contenders division. It was a fine match. Kanji defeats. I'm sure that happened actually later in the show. Pretty sure. Ricky Knight Jr. defeated Amari in a excellent, long, possibly a bit too long, coming up just shy of 20 minutes. But Amari took RKJ to the limit. Amari is another one of these guys, a fantastic wrestler. Big, tall, got lots of strength, lots of power, very athletic, very talented. I know he was the OTT champion for a long period. But Amari definitely deserves a bit more. I'd like to see him in Pro UK and progress a lot more. Very, very talented wrestler. And that ended the first half of that show. For the show, kicked off with Connor Mills and Dynamite Lee Dawson. Very fun match. Connor Mills gave Dynamite Lee Dawson 5 minutes to survive him, and if he could survive 5 minutes, he would face Dynamite Lee Dawson at the 12th anniversary show, because he was supposed to be facing Ethan Allen at that 12th anniversary show, but Ethan Allen supposedly taken out by Connor Mills with the leg injury on the episode previous, I believe, a Live in London. Yeah, I believe it was a Live in London show. Not 100% sure though. But so after the match, Ethan Allen did come out on crutches, and at first he was all like, yeah, I'm going to be out of the show. It is what it is. And, really, really had you going. But then, out of nowhere, bam, hits Connor Mills with the crutches, lets everybody knows he's fine, and it will be Connor Mills versus Ethan Allen at the upcoming 12th anniversary show during the AEW All In weekend, and set to be a cracker of a match because there's plenty of heat going into it. We had a Cruiserweight Championship qualifying match. Neon is going to be the CMLL's Neon, the current Retro UK Cruiserweight Champion, Undisputed Cruiserweight Champion, will be defending the title at the anniversary show in a scramble match, and Danny Black faced Cameron Kai to see who would go on to be in that match. Excellent match, great showing from both guys. Big fan of Danny Black, big fan of Cameron Kai. Lots of potential in Cameron Kai. Danny Black, just doing some great things with CPF. I'll try and mention the CPF tour a little bit later in the show if I've still got time. You then had an excellent match between Kanji and Debbie Keitel. Wow, excellent. I've talked about Debbie Keitel before, how I, think she's been an amazing character, been unimpressed with her, particularly in the ring. I eat all of those words. Just every single one of them I need to eat, because absolutely Kanji, Debbie Keitel, this was a cracking match. This really was excellent. And of course, after the match, the Cutthroat Collective, Lizzie, Nina, Sapphire, Mercedes Blaze came to jump Kanji. But Debbie Keitel, who at first looked like she wasn't going to help, decided to help Kanji. So I think it's all coming together now. If we look at it, we've got Kanji, we've got Rio, as Anita Vaughan to it, Debbie Keitel, and Lucia Lee's been involved in this. So could it be the Cutthroat Collective versus those five incredible talents in the at the upcoming anniversary show? Zazaya, Robbie X, just a touch class. Zazaya, I mean, I always like to think I kept in touch with what was going on in Europe. How had I miss Zazaya? What a talent! 21 years, just turning 22 soon, I believe. Andy Quilden said, a national wrestler for the freestyle wrestler for the Spanish national team. Incredibly charismatic. Got the crowd going in. Just an excellent match. Zaya picked up the win. Robbie X after. Big round of applause from everybody in the crowd. And on his way out, he was attacked by Donovan Dijak, who, of course, was there to face Michael Oku in the main event. Excellent. Michael Oku, it was only, I say it a lot now, it was only 5 years ago that I just think I didn't believe Michael Oku deserved all that he was getting. And again, I was wrong. So wrong. Michael Oku is, right now the best unsigned wrestling talent on the scene. Uber incredible when it comes to that 2.99 kick out and the ultimate of underdogs. Excellent, charismatic individual alongside Amira as his valet is, she just adds so much more star power to him, and maybe gets involved in two because she really stood right face to face with Donovan Dijak at one point, and I'm not sure about that. But, fair play. She stood her ground. She is an excellent, as I say, the best valet there is in the business right now is Amira. Very, very, very talented. So, what do I give this show? I am also going to give this on 4.25, 4.25 in my sugars, in my tea. Yes, please. Super sweet. Puro, Wrestle Bear, what did you think? He's giving it 4.5. Wow. You really enjoyed it? Apparently so. 4.5 is the score for the RevPro UK live in Coventry card from Pure Wrestle Bear. I personally don't think there's any real difference between this and the Progress card, so not sure where he's coming from, but he has this. He knows what he likes, and apparently there was more that he liked on the RevPro UK card. Of course, right at the end of the card, out, video message. MJF challenging Michael Oku for the Summer Sizzler on the 11th of August, putting up the United States champion. Is Will Ospreay going to get involved? Will Ospreay be there? Oh, gosh. What an announcement. That's what I'm talking about when I say, we had to come back to talk about some of this stuff. And, oh, my God, they released the entire card just the other day for Summer Sizzler. MJF, Michael Oku. Trevor Lee versus Luke Jacobs. That should be an absolute cracker. Danny Luna versus Nina Samuels. Dijak versus Robbie X. Leon Slater versus Jack Cartwheel. Of course, that's going to be a Cruiserweight Scramble Championship qualifying match. Gideon Gray and Dan McGee having a match in honor of James Garcelle. And then we've got a number one contenders tag team match. Santos, Golden Boy Santos, David Francesco versus Sunshine Machine versus Greedy Souls versus Youngblood. I know we've been waiting for Greedy Souls versus GYV, the current tag team champion. But I could certainly see Sunshine Machine maybe coming away with a win here, given everything that's been going on with them. Interesting. very, very interesting. Of course, their anniversary show is coming together very nicely. Connor Mills, Ethan Allen, as we mentioned. The undisputed six-way scramble match. So far, it's Neon, Cameron Cole, Will Cave, and three more people to be part of that match. Will it be Leon Slater and Jack Cartwheel? Danny Luna versus we don't know who's going to be yet for the undisputed women's championship. Of course, it was supposed to be Stephanie Bakir, but she signed with NXT and WWE, and we all know what happened there. Zack Sabre Jr. versus Henchy Cero. Going to be an absolutely cracking technical display of beautiful wrestling. And of course, the Rev Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship, Michael Oku, Luke Jacobs. Luke Jacobs was the one to dethrone Michael Oku of the Cruiserweight Championship a couple of years back now. Is it time? Could Luke Jacobs become the first person in history to hold both the Progress World title and the Rev Pro UK World title? Tell you what, that's going to be really interesting. And a massive announcement for the 16th and 17th of September, the first of an annual Trios Grand Prix at HMV Empire in Coventry. I've always thought that the one thing Rev Pro UK lacked when going up against the likes of Progress and the WXW, they didn't have a weekend event. They sometimes have back-to-back shows on a weekend, but they'll be in different locations. So this is the first time we're seeing back-to-back in the same location. A festival, if you like. I'm sure CPF will be involved. Maverick Mayhew, Danny Black, Just Joe Lando. He made sure to mention that during the Danny Black match. So I could definitely 100% see that happening in the near future. And very, very much looking forward to that. As I say, before I kick off, I did say I was also going to review Thunderstruck from Thunderstruck 2, North Wrestling NCL's last show. I believe it was at the beginning of this month, but of course, it is available now on Triller TV. It was made available, I believe, on the Friday. Absolutely fantastic card, like many of the others that we've shown you so far today. Really, great lineup. Let's just get this one up for you just to quickly look at it. I didn't get a great photo of this one for some reason. Let's have a look, see. Boom, I thought I had a better photo than this. As you saw, man like Doris, Leon Slater was the main event. Elijah, Joe Hendry, Liziero, Miyu Yamashita, Gene and Grado versus Lycos Jim, Mark Haskins with Vicky Haskins versus Michael Oku with Amira, a full ATLC match between four incredible tag teams. Clint Margera was involved, Ace Matthews. Yeah, it was a big show there. This is the second time they've run the Walker Dome in Newcastle, which is where this the location was for this show, and it was a absolutely fantastic show. I'm just going to bring up my notes again. Bear with me 1 second. That was a bit squeaky, wasn't it? I tell you what, speaking with WrestleBear, he said he very much enjoyed this show and he would like to talk about Henry Faust. He is a big fan of Henry Faust, apparently. He loves the style of Henry Faust. He thinks Henry Faust has a big future. I absolutely agree with you there, Puro the WrestleBear. And it was Henry Faust that kicked off the show in a 8-man tag team match. It was King Cayman, Miles Cayman, along with his new heavy Emperor and Reese and Rogan as well was his chosen tag team, taking on Team Faust and his mystery partners, which turned out to be X-Packer, Lou Nixon, and Trent Seven. This was not just a simple 8-man tag. This was anarchy in the arena. It was very hard to follow at times. Not big on the whole match. It was just there was a lot going on, but I'm big on Kemper. I am big on Miles Kamen. I am big on Reese and Rogan as a tag team. I think they've got a huge future. Big fan of Henry Faust. Blue Nixon is somebody who's getting his roses these days from MMA compared to the was part of Bloodsport earlier this year during WrestleMania weekend. And of course, Trent Seven, always welcome sight, always welcome pop. Certainly got a pop from the crowd. Up next, it was Michael Oku versus Vicky Haskins, versus Mark Haskins, with Vicky Haskins and Amira in the corner of their chosen man, battle of who is power couple of Brit Wres. And it turned out to be Michael Oku and Amira, who put on double single leg crabs. Amira having Vicky Haskins and a single leg crab. Michael Oku having Mark Haskins and a single leg crab. Excellent match. Puro really enjoyed this match. I really enjoyed this match. Great to see. Eve Bateman picked up a win in a fatal 4-way against Ali Catch, Debbie Keitel, and Natalie Sykes. North really been pushing Eve Bateman recently. Good to see. Competent young lady, got a good character. I think there's more to be developed with her, and I think we'll see a future superstar really when it comes down to it. Joe Hendry versus Elijah, one of the big key marquee matches for this show. For sure, it went less than 8 minutes. I'm not kidding you, and it felt a lot like a WWE tryout match. Elijah dominated for good part of it. Joe Hendry picked up the win. Great video from Joe Hendry. What was it? Hendry took your job. Good job. Hendry took your job. It was just brilliant. I can't do it any justice. Go watch it, and you'll see why I'm quite hyped on the video that Joe Hendry did at the match with Elijah. It was excellent. Great show from Joe Hendry overall. And afterwards, Elijah got on the microphone and said he believes in Joe Hendry, because everybody believes in Joe Hendry. You had the North NCL Tag Team TLC match. Defending champions, apparently going by badass bitches. Emerson and Rio defended against the Postmodern Sick Boys, Liam Slater and Rory Coyle, and the team of Rampage and Will Cruz, as well as the Landed Gentry, Benji and Zio Knox. Lots of fun, some great spots in this, some hardcore wrestling. I enjoyed it. Wasn't, it was not Puro's best. It wasn't Puro's idea of the best match of the night, but I enjoyed it. And Poor Emerson Jane picked up an injury. I think it was off the crazy Spanish fly she did off the ladder through some chairs onto Liam Slater. Emerson Jane is she's insane. She just does some incredible things. She is such a performer, somebody who you can really see just absolutely love this business. That brought an end to the first half of the show. Second half of the show opened up with the tag team match between Lycos Jim and Gene Money Laredo. Fun. Lots and lots of fun. Really, the crowd really loved this. Puro, they didn't see the fun in it. I saw the fun in it. I think it was a great match, and Gene Money and Grado picked up the win. Afterwards, backstage, you saw Lycos Jim, even shake hands with Gene Money afterwards. So good to see. Lizzie Evo defeated Miyu Yamashita. Lizzie dragged Miyu into a scrap, whereas Miyu would have preferred a fight and, Lizzie made this a scrap. Lizzie Evo made this a Lizzie Evo match, and she picked up the win. Big win for Lizzie over Miyu Yamashita. Big for her. Puro loves Miyu Yamashita. He also loves Lizzie Evo. Second best match of the night, apparently, for Puro. Says that the main event was probably the best match of the night, but very much enjoyed Lizzie versus Miyu Yamashita. Ace Matthews and Clint Margera in an ultra-violent match. It was a comedy ultra-violent match. It wasn't an ultra-violent match. And I do believe Clint Margera is taking a step back from wrestling for a little while. Good luck to Clint, obviously one of the main guys of the Brit Wres deathmatch scene. So probably just need a little break. Hopefully we'll see him back. Leon Slater and Man Like Doris main evented. They went long. They went really long. This was close to 40 minutes, and they kept it busy throughout. Really good to, I don't think we've ever seen either Man Like Doris or Leon Slater go for the length that they did in this match. And absolutely excellent match. Really loved it. I'm going to give the show 4 sugars in my tea. What do you think, Puro Bear? He's only going to give it 3 3/4. He said there was a lot of good stuff, but there was just things that maybe he didn't particularly sit right with him. The 8-man tag, the TLC, and the comedy tag match, he says, is, kind of where he lies on it. But, he was very much, he thought Man Like the recently on Slater was fantastic. He thought that Michael Oak and Mark Haskins was fantastic. And he also thought that Miyu Yamashita and Lizzie Evo was absolutely excellent. Of course, they are also going to be part of the big AEW All-In Weekend of Wrestling. They've joined up with Attack Pro Wrestling and Crystal Wrestling. Well, they needed a London partner, I guess, to have a London venue for the show, and they chose Crystal Wrestling. But let's talk about North Wrestling. They've announced one of the matches so far for the show. That's going to be Leon Slater versus Rampage Brown. See if that is for the North Wrestling Championship. Big surprise in the finale of that North Wrestling match that I don't want to spoil, so you're going to have to go see it for yourself. And the North Wrestling show is between 1:30 Attack Pro Wrestling actually kick it off between 11 and 12. They've announced Danny Luna versus Emerson Jane. So looks, I like what they're doing. I don't like who they're working with, but I like what they're doing. They're not the only ones there at the AEW All-In Weekend. Riot Cabaret have a Friday show that is now sold out. It's a lots of fun matches have been announced so far, including Michael Oku versus Nico Angelo, Nina Samuels, Session of Martina, and Millie McKenzie for the Women's Championship. Sunshine Machine versus Subculture for the... No, that's not for the Tag Team Championships. Charles Crowley versus Spike Trevay. Amira versus Cassius with Simon Miller as the guest referee. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a great show. Also available that weekend is Pro Wrestling Eve. They're doing a joint show with TJPW, Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling. Miyu Yamashita's going to be there. Aja Kong's going to be there. And of course, the stars of Pro Wrestling Eve are going to be there, including Session Moff Martina, Sapphire Reed, Nina Samuels, Alex Windsor, Sky Smith, and Lena Cross is going to be part of it. And we see more members of the Tokyo Joshi Pro Wrestling Now, just before I decide to kick us off and this show, a big just want to wish good luck to the CPF boys as they head off to the United States. They've got 3 ECW shows over the weekend on August 3rd and no, August 2nd. They're taking on a team of Matthews and Davey Bang. August Matthews in August and Davey Bang, Matthews and Bang. They've got a match for Brit Wres Wrestling against Jake Chris and Myron Reed. That's going to be insane. And then they've got 2 more GCW shows, August 4th and August 17th, of course. Very recently won the Soft Pro Tag Team Championship, so good luck with that. We're going to try and catch up with what Callum Newman, Zack Sabre Jr., and Gabe Kidd have been doing in the G1, as well as Jack Morris kicks off his M1 victory this weekend. So we'll be keeping an eye on how he's getting on in the M1 victory. We'll explore how Callum Newman, Gabe Kidd, and Zack Sabre Jr. have done it on the next episode next week. Well, I'll also be reviewing an upcoming Pro Wrestling Eve show, which is tomorrow night, which will be live on YouTube via their usual membership. Definitely worth checking out. Looks to be a great show for Pro Wrestling Eve. I'll also be watching WXW's Live in Frankfurt show, where they held the European Championship tournament to crown a new champion, the European champion. I do believe a Gil Blanc won. I do believe he's going to be defending against Michael Oku soon, but I'll tell you more about that next week. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Just remember, support indie wrestling, support independent wrestlers, support independent promotions, support independent podcasts to support independent wrestling. And remember, don't feed the trolls.